Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Secretary, for being here today. One of the things that, as you know very well from visiting the Energy and Environmental Research Center, is that, you know, we're working very hard to develop these new technologies so that we can keep our baseload energy in place, whether that's our coal-fired electric plants, but also the work that we do in oil and gas. You know, we have the best stewardship in the nation, in the world. Our country has the best stewardship in the world, and it's because we are leading the way in all these technologies, which obviously you saw at the EERC, and DOE needs to help us with that. One of them that we talked to you about is the Plains CO2 Reduction Partnership, PCOR. So we work on that with the EERC at the University of North Dakota. Senator Barrasso works on it in Wyoming with the University of Wyoming. Senator Murkowski in Alaska, the University of Alaska at Fairbanks, as well as our esteemed chairman, Senator Manchin, works with these regional partnerships in West Virginia. So they're very important. They really cover the country. And so we, through the appropriations process, secured funding for those partnerships. There's 4 of them that pretty much cover the whole country. And we directed that Congress move ahead with a multi-year funding to competitively select, you know, these partnerships to go ahead and provide, again, this work on how we can safely sequester CO2. And you know, as you know, that's done both for sequestration as well as enhanced oil recovery. So my question is, we need to get going on that. And in the past, there's been disagreement between Congress in terms of funding these things and then the DOE coming in and how they've approached it. And so my question to you is, will you commit to promptly issue a funding opportunity announcement for the RCSP program that's consistent, and this is the important part, consistent with the language that we included for 2024? Because we have been doing this for a number of years. These folks, these universities have done a good job across the country, and then DOE came in and tried to, and did change how it's being handled. So we put language in this year to make sure that we move forward with this funding and that it's done as we've done it in the past, which has been very successful.
So the answer is yes. Short answer, I was pleased to see Liberty Carbon Management Hub at the University of North Dakota received from the previous funding opportunity announcement. We are using that same language to go into this next funding opportunity announcement.
Okay, and it's very important. Another project that you're aware of and that we've talked about is Dakota Gasification Company, which takes lignite coal, converts it to natural gas. 50% of the CO2 stream goes for EOR, enhanced oil recovery. And now they're capturing another 35%, which takes it up to 85% for geologic storage. Same thing, though, EERC, University of North Dakota, they measure. So you've got an independent entity measuring to make sure that the CO2 is captured, is put down whole, it's sequestered, and that it's safe for the long term. And, you know, we've put a lot of programs in place in North Dakota. We're one of 2 states in the country that can do it right now, North Dakota and Wyoming. Same thing, you're working with them to fund that monitoring project. The first round, I think, was $1.4 million, but now there's additional follow-on funding as this project is ramped up. Again, largest carbon capture project in the country. Again, want to know, will you commit to promptly approving the necessary funding that you participate in with them as a partner in what I think is an incredible, you know, incredible project that's really leading the way forward?
Of course.
Okay. So both of those, I think, incredibly important. The last thing I want to bring up, and I know you've been asked about it, I haven't been here for the whole hearing, but is I was about a year ago in both South Korea and Taiwan. They need LNG from us. We don't want them to be dependent on Russia or somebody else. So again, in terms of this moratorium on siting LNG facilities, it's just paramount that we move forward. And it's not just getting it in place, it's the market signals that we send. You yourself just mentioned the cost of LNG is low now. So we need the facilities to provide it to customers. What can you do to help advance this process so that we get back to permitting LNG facilities?
Yeah, I mean, as we've said, this update process, which is done with our national labs, will be completed around the end of the year, and the data will show what the data shows. But the important part is that it takes into account what our allies need, what we expect the global demand will be, what the impacts on the ground here are in terms of jobs and community, and what the life cycle issue is with respect to LNG. And so all of those, and the cost, of course, very importantly, the cost at home of exporting a large amount of LNG for our own manufacturers, for example, our own consumers of natural gas. So all of that is happening right now, and this will soon be in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, it is really important that we get that squared away, not only for our own national security, but also working with our allies.
But just to remember that everybody who's currently exporting, this does not affect. Everybody who's under construction, this does not affect. Everybody who's authorized, this does not affect.
Yeah, well, we both understand the issue, and your attention to it is very important, and so I thank you for that.
Great.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator.